Hey everyone! So today we're going to be discussing this topic of Arab gatherings.
What's an Arab gatherings? What is an Arab gathering like if you haven't been to one? So let's start by talking about the most important component of an Arab gathering. So the most important component is shoes. So when you walk into an Arab gathering, the first thing you see is that hundreds of shoes outside of that one place that you're about to get in.
And you almost trip over these shoes, and it's not fun when you trip over these shoes.
It's like a maze of shoes. Like there's so many shoes. Some of them like don't even have their pairs.
Kid sizes, adult sizes, all kinds of sizes.
And then sometimes they're paired up together. Like kid size is paired up with like a woman's shoe or something.
And I've tripped over them.
So here's the thing, you have to take your shoes off before you go in. So when you take your shoes off, you're lucky to find these shoes on your way out. So you're done with the Arab gathering, you walk out, you go like, where's my shoes? Oh, the people just tell you, oh, it's okay. When we find it, we'll call you, and chances are they're never gonna call back because they're never gonna find it. Somebody must have picked it up and left.
No, just somebody random just must have taken it and didn't find their shoe.
So they just took yours. So it's like a cycle of people not finding their shoes, and your shoes ends up being lost.
And my sister had a story of somebody taking away her shoe.
Yeah, no, it's not one story. It's like a series of stories. Okay, like
so tell what happened.
Yeah, so I went to that one Arab gathering and I had to take off my shoes. I was like a little baby. I was actually one of the few children over there. And I took off my shoes and I put it like in a really, in a spot that nobody will find it. Because I have really bad, like my mom always tells me stories about how she went home without her shoes. So yeah, I came back out. I looked in that one spot that I hid my shoes in and I couldn't find the shoes. I went to the lady, I was like, those were my favorite shoes. And she's like, no, it's okay. She's like this. No. It's okay. I'll call you. Don't worry, your shoes are not going to be lost. I was like, blah, 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 blah. She's never going to call. And I was right.
I had a similar story that I just remembered right now. When I lost my shoe, so I think the woman told me to take somebody else's shoe, and I was like, no!
Now you're getting people telling you to take what an advice.
This was actually, the advice was really bad. Like, take this shoe, it's nobody's.
It's like, yeah, take this shoe.
It's nobody's.
Take this shoe. Go. It's
okay. I have when I get shoes, it's like I lose them every time, and somebody tells me to take shoes, and that was the worst advice.
Yeah, my mom actually, like the last time we went to an Arab gathering, she held her shoe with her inside. She was like, you know what? I think she put it in her purse.
Yeah.
Yeah, she put
it in her purse. That was the funniest story.
Yeah, so shoes. Make sure you know where your shoes are. Like you have to be checking back every now and then to know whether your shoes is there or not. And when people leave the house, and usually when Arabs leave the house or leave a household, they would actually say hi to everybody, so that way they're actually alerting you, hey, go check your shoes in case you get stolen. Yeah.
And I had this feeling when I was younger, whenever I don't see my shoes, my heart just
drops. Yeah, you know those dreams where you dream like you don't have your shoe, you went to school without your shoes. It's kind of like that.
Yeah. Like, how am I gonna go outside? It's raining or something. It's usually raining when we leave. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. The weather just kind of sucks itself up whenever you
whenever it knows that I don't have my shoe, it rains.
Yeah, it's just so bad. So the second thing about Arab weddings is when you get there. So the first step is when you're actually losing your shoes. You're having your stories with your shoes outside of that house.
Where to put your shoes.
And where to put your shoes. How to hide your shoes. Those are all hacks for how to be in an Arab wedding. Gathering. My bad. Yeah, gathering. So second thing is people over there usually are separated, women to men. Not necessarily. They tell you when you should get married. That's a very important topic to them.
What you should do and how you should be a better person. They somehow find out that you didn't do something, just a little thing for your parents.
Usually your parents keep blaming you. These moments are like a parent.
But they go to the children. And the children have nothing to do with it. They're just having fun, having their own time, and they just interrupt.
Yeah, no, actually for me, they talk to my parents about things I should do, like, and this sometimes, like, gets in your deepest nerves. So don't let it get to you, and just keep on eating the good food, and just be like, you know what, I didn't even hear that.
Just
now."
enjoy the food. That's
Yeah,
that's the funnest part.
That's the funnest part. So, the other thing about Arab gatherings, pigs are not allowed. Like, if you're in an Arab gathering where people are dressed up, like,
Especially the women Arab gathering, pigs are not allowed, but the men sometimes.
of course it's allowed for men. Like, they can take how many ever pictures they want. But if it's a woman,
The women know if you bring a camera, they go like they cover their faces like it's something like
yeah, or and their hair, and then your mom starts giving you the look.
the look of life.
Yeah, like, what did you just do?
And of course, after when you get home,
It's a
there'll be
different
big
story
discussion.
when you get home. That's-
The other one is the other problem in the Arab gathering is if you come with parents,
You're
there's no
stuck
way
there.
there's no way to get out
You're stuck there until like 12 or 12:30, whenever
Until-
they finish their conversation.
until they think is the time to go. Even though you're
Yeah.
bored and you really want to go home, you're bored. You feel like you're gonna escape,
like die right there, and then they go like, no,
die right
can't
there.
you see I'm talking? Like,
They're right there of tired. You're really tired. They and one other problem is their conversations are so long, they never end.
endless conversations. Like your mom. Okay, so the conversation starts. Sorry. So the conversation starts like before they leave. Like, oh, all right, I'm going, all right. And then people go like, yeah, and then they start a conversation. So the conversation goes from the household, owner, whatever, like the person, the host,
Yeah.
sitting until they're like right next to the door, and they're still talking.
They're
And
like
then-
right next to the door. Like,
Yeah.
please just hold it. Just
It's
touch
like-
that door. Touch the door.
and then
And just open it.
yeah, and then you know what they do right before they get into the car. And then once my mom is in the car, now she's talking
And-
outside the window.
And there's something right before they get into the car. The house owner gets outside the house
and
and
then they
talks.
start talking. And the
It's,
host
it's like
is-
it's like a process. It's like they're inside the house totally, and then they're in the outside the door. Then they're outside the car. Then inside the car, they open the window and they still
and
talk.
they're still talking. Like,
And the problem
oh,
is, it's so boring to listen to.
and then you just go like, oh, what is this? Does this happen to all Arabs?
Stop talking, please. Like, I really need to go home. Like, I'm really tired of this. Like,
Yeah.
you think to yourself, I'll never come to Arab gathering
And then you
again.
keep falling for the same mistake over and over again.
You'd be like, this is the last time I'm gonna ever come. I'm never coming again. And then another Arab gathering comes. Oh, I have
And then
nothing to
guess
do.
who's
Like,
there?
Oh, I have nothing to do at home. Like,
so
you have
then
to
you
go.
go.
When in the Arab gathering, there's usually so many people that are invited. Like, so many that you don't even know. Like,
You don't even know where's your mom. Like, seriously, like, where's my mom right now? And you keep looking for her. And then the issue is that people.
So this is the process. This is the
Yeah.
process. You get in the house with your parents. Like, you get inside the house with your parents. And then while you're trying to find the place to put your shoes in, you lose your parents because they already put their shoe.
They already put their shoe. Usually your mom is wearing like what they call shahata. Like she's wearing something to take off, and then she's right in there. She's talking.
And she's right there, and she
Conversation.
and like they just go, and then we're still looking for a place to put our shoes so they won't be lost.
Yeah, like you're looking to hide her shoes. Okay, can you put your shoe over there? And then my mom is just like in there, and of course she holds her shoe with her. So.
Yeah. So and when we try to get in, they just vanish. Like,
Yeah, like your parents just vanished.
And you
like,
have to
where-
ask the house owner, and you can't find the house owner.
the
You have
host.
to
They
ask
call it the host.
the host. You have to ask the host, and she doesn't know where your parents are. Like you sometimes never find them. You just like
No, not all the time. You don't find them. You actually find them right before they leave sometimes, and it's just really
and it's
bad.
scary, kind of like you're
Yeah.
just in the middle of like.
And then you call them and they can't hear or whatever, or they close. They hang up on you.
As kids, we didn't have phones, so
As younger kids, we didn't have phones. Like we got our phones like when we were in ninth grade, 8th grade.
yeah.
I got mine when I was in 9th grade. So yeah. So then you have to use other people's phones, and people are just like, so many of them. You can't. It's just.
So another thing about Arab gatherings is that they tell you the dramatic changes.
So in an Arab gathering, there's always that lady that mentions to you how skinny you got. And it is just like, every time you go like, oh my goodness, look at you. This is just bones and flesh. flesh and bones. This is just way too much. They even come up to you and tell you, look at you, honey, you're so skinny. You're too skinny. And then they keep telling you that you're skinny. Just like, I have no idea. Just they keep repeating that over and over again.
Say like, oh, you got like a lot taller. Now for the pros. There are way more pros than there are cons.
The pros outweigh the cons.
So the first one is the food.
Yeah, the very first, the most important pro in all of these is the food. So as you guys know, Mediterranean food is delicioso. Like, it is the best food you can ever eat, ever try, whatever. Like, just go to a Mediterranean restaurant or Arab restaurant and you guys can judge.
And you can smell the goodness.
The aromas are amazing.
You can smell the goodness, and it's always like really hot when it's served. Like,
they always serve the food extra hot. Like, it's never like, you know, coming out the refrigerator. They call this old food. They never want, usually like Arab people,
leftovers.
Yeah, they call it leftovers. Arab people love food that is extremely hot or just has been just made. So when you go to an Arab gathering, the food is extremely hot. You have to be waiting for the food for actually like 10 minutes for it to let that hotness
and
go away.
And you can never like get enough of it. You always want a second plate.
Yeah, like you can never, like, make sure to watch your weight whenever you go to an Arab gathering.
Another pro is the way people are dressed, and they are dressed like, so beautiful. Like, they're dressed glitters, and people smell like cologne bottles.
So the perfume is a different category. So when a person just like walks by the room you're in, you can smell their cologne like so much. You go like, okay, yeah, that person just walked by here. Like, somebody just walked by here. That's how strong their perfumes are.
So another part of it that's great is the get-togethers, and meaning that they're like kids your age. They're not all adults, and there are kids that you can get to know, and children come over. They would say, oh, go with the children's section.
Yeah, and that way you can actually form and connect friendships and long-term relationships, friendships, whatever.
The nicest part is how usually the ladies say, oh, go with the children. There's always a children's spot, like either in the basement, upstairs, in a room, and you bring your plate.
I used to get insulted when people tell me to go to this children's section, just because I used to think that I'm an adult. So whenever they tell me, go to the children's section, it used to be like the worst thing for me. Like, if you tell me to go to the children's section, that would be like the worst insult. So it's just like, so anyway, what I'm trying to say is that kids get together in Arab gatherings.
And they do all kinds of fun stuff, like stuff like video games,
tag, like they play really, really children, like really baby games. It is just so fun. And when you get to know them, there's so much that you have in common with them. Like, there's so much that we have in common. We play so many games, so many like board games, everything. And usually these friendships last a long time.
And you bring your plate up to the place where they play the games, and usually don't finish like the plate, cause
like you take your plate or your food wherever they're meeting up. Like, the kids meet up in a separate section than men do or women do.
And you usually have so much fun that you don't finish the food.
Yeah.
You don't want to get, even though like you're hungry, and you don't want to get back to the.
And you never want to leave. Like, whenever your parents say, "Oh, it's time to go," we go like, "No, we want to stay more." We also do games
like jump out over the beds, like
jump over beds, tag, all kinds of
climb
games.
over each other.
Yeah.
And it's like the funnest thing.
Yeah, people always talk about how skinny you got and how much more food you need. And it is just always so cute. Because it's like every time they have the same phrase. Like, okay, this is what they're going to tell me. This is what I'm going to say. And like, you have a list of things of what people are going to tell you. And it is just amazing.
One other thing is how they compliment you. Like, oh, your hair, or you dress nice. they compliment in a very nice way.
They always, yeah. And one other thing about Arab gatherings is that people are extremely nice. People are extremely like.
People are usually extremely nice in Arab gatherings.
Yeah, they actually like lay out all the food for you, and they tell you exactly what to eat. They'll be like, "Okay, honey, come over here. You look like you're so skinny. You don't eat. You look like you're from North Africa. No, South Africa." Yeah, and they actually mention how skinny you are to everybody, and they come with you and they actually show you exactly what food to eat, like what food they actually spend the most time on. So they actually go ahead and like just show you like this food is, you know what I mean?
Regardless of all the cons, it is an extremely fun experience and very memorable.
Yeah, very, very memorable. Whatever happens is just always engraved in your memory. And it's like always when you look back at it, it is extremely funny. Like you go like, oh my god, I can't believe I got mad at this.
Like I can't believe this happened.
Mm.
And you never forget it.
Thank you guys for watching this video, and hope you learned something from this video. I hope you guys now know what an Arab gathering is, what it is like. So now when you walk into an Arab gathering, you actually know what to expect. And yeah, until next time. I want to show right now my outfit.
She's like the queen of outfits. Every day she has this beautiful outfit that like...
Look who's stalking, look who's stalking. She's like the beast.